If you are new to music production on Linux, installing VST plugins can seem confusing. A VST plugin is like a special app for making sounds in a music program. You put it in a music making program and it helps you create or change the characteristics of a sound. There are different plugin formats, different folders, and every DAW does things a little differently. A DAW, short for Digital Audio Workstation, is a program on a computer that helps you make music. Think of it like a recording studio inside of your computer or laptop. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to install VST plugins on Linux, where they should go, how to make your DAW find them, and how to fix the most common problems if they don't show up. Before we get started, my computer runs Debian with GNOME as my desktop environment, and my DAW of choice is Reaper. First things you need to understand is that not every VST plugin works natively on Linux. There are two categories: native Linux plugins and Windows plugins. Native Linux plugins are built specifically for Linux and usually work without any extra software. Windows plugins require compatibility layers like Wine and tools such as Bridge, which deserve its own separate video. Today we are focusing on native Linux plugins, and you can find them on linuxdaw.org. Step number 1, we are gonna go to linuxdaw.org for all the plugins that are available on Linux. The reason why we go to this website is to avoid downloading Windows plugins unless you plan to use Wine. So all plugins will usually come as a zip folder or a TAR.GZ file. First thing to do is to hit this no charge button to see all the plugins that are free on Linux. And then the plugin that we are gonna go download is TetraOP. Hit this TetraOP here. It's gonna redirect me to its GitHub page, and then scroll down to downloads and hit the releases button, and then download the TetraOP Linux version 1.0.3.zip file. It's gonna download to my downloads, and that's it for downloading the plugins. If the plugin comes in a zip file or a .tar.gz file, simply extract it by double-clicking on the folder or right-click the file and extract the file. Inside, you'll usually find either a VST3 folder, a clap file, or a shared library ending in .so or .deb, since I'm on a Debian distro. In this case, we have an LV2 file and a VST3 file. Step number 3 is plugin formats. Plugins usually come in 3 formats, which are .vst or .vst3, LV2, and a clap version. VST and VST3 are both audio plugin formats created by Steinberg for digital audio workstations, with VST3 being a newer version released in 2008 that uses fewer system resources by activating only when in use. Most DAWs support both, but VST3 is generally preferred for its efficiency and modern features. LV2 is an open standard for audio plugins that support various types of audio processing and synthesis, including MIDI capabilities and custom user interfaces. It is the successor to the LADSPA format and is widely supported by many Linux audio applications. CLAP stands for Clever Audio Plugin, which is an open source audio plugin architecture designed for DAWs and audio plugins, providing a flexible alternative to proprietary formats like VST and AU. It supports features like non-destructive parameter automation and through MIDI 2.0 support. Step number 4 is to copy the plugins to the correct folder. Go to the home directory and press Ctrl+H to reveal all the hidden files, or go to this drop-down menu and then click the Show Hidden Files over here. The folders that begin with a dot are hidden folders inside of your home directory. Create a .vst, .vst3, a .clap, and a .lv2 file in your home directory. After creating the file, go to your downloads and copy the plugins to the respective file for the plugin. Meaning, if the plugin ends with a .vst3, it will go to the .vst3 folder in the home directory. Step number 5 is to scan for plugins in your DAW. Now go to your DAW. In my case, I use Reaper. The first thing I'm gonna do is go to Options, go to Preferences, which is Control plus comma as my shortcut, and then under the Plugins tab, I'm gonna go to the VST and copy this file path over here, then hit rescan. Then after rescanning, rescan for new paths, and then after that I'm gonna also go to LV2 and then rescan again, and then rescan info over here, and then rescan for new files or file paths. So after that I'm gonna say okay. After rescanning for my plugins, you need to clear the cache and rescan depending on the DAW. Wait for the scan to finish, and then we're gonna open the plugin. Step number 6 is troubleshooting. If your plugin still doesn't appear, here are a few things that you can check. Wrong architecture. In my case, I use a 64-bit architecture computer, so I'll have to have a 64-bit plugin and a 64-bit DAW. The second thing to check is the wrong folder. Double check that the plugin is actually inside of the correct folder. Number 3 is to check if the DAW has rescanned the plugin, or you can restart the DAW. Some DAWs only detect new plugins after restarting. And for the bonus tip, I recommend creating a separate folder for your VST3, Clap, and LV2 plugins. Keeping everything organized makes it much easier to troubleshoot and migrate to another Linux installation later. That's all there is to installing native VST plugins on Linux. Once you know where plugins belong and how your DAW scans them, the process is actually very straightforward for every VST plugin. If you want to see the top 10 free VST plugins on Linux, click this video over here, and if this video helped you, leave a like and subscribe for more Linux music production content, and let me know in the comments what's your favorite native Linux plugin. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.